I found a blog from 2014 where he was called out on his school scam, right?
Hmm. Oh yeah.
So people already figured out before he even bought that school. People figured out it was a scam
Well, he originally he tried to buy a university.
for $2 million. Yeah,
Yeah, for $2 million, and
I
converting a university to an elementary school would have bankrupted IBM.
well,
I
can you
mean,
can
it's
you
like,
imagine? He wants to buy a school. It's like a very nice building. This guy shows up, right? You're trying to sell that, and real estate people and the previous owners, and this guy shows up, does his spiel with Pan-Africanism and who knows what, and he, if you meet him, clearly he will appear to be an unstable person, and can't imagine why the deal fell through, right?
well, if I was on the city council, I would not have approved that. But here's the thing: guess who ended up buying it? Do you know the ethnicity of the people who ended up buying that university?
Oh yeah, he was very sore about it. They were
Yeah,
Chinese, right? Yeah,
yeah,
he was so
yeah.
sore about that.
Asians.
Yeah,
He's so upset that
yeah, he's
because
so
it used
upset.
to be an all black school, right? It was an
Yeah.
HBCU, I believe, and so as much Asians bought it. He's so upset, but they had the
Oh,
money and you didn't.
yeah.
That was the difference.
So one more thing, why I think his degree is bogus, right? Um, it's another one of the links in the email. Uh,
Okay,
so Dr. Umar, people have been upset with him for a long time. In 2018, finally, he had a hearing in front of the, not Philadelphia, Pennsylvania Board of Psychology, because he's practicing psychology without a license. Somebody claimed that,
is this it?
and I think so, yes. And so he, they had a hearing to, establish the evidence. Is he practicing psychology without a license? He submitted some documents, okay, where he says control F MBA on this one.
Okay. Oops.
Okay, respondent, okay, that's him. That's
Mhm.
Dr. Umar. Specialized psychology degree with an MBA and doctorate in clinical psychology. Okay, so he's claiming an MBA. He doesn't somehow he confuses his Master's of Science in clinical psychology with an MBA. He doesn't even know the difference between a Master's of Science and an MBA himself. So if you have a Master's of Science, would you accidentally say you have an MBA? There's absolutely no way. If you legitimately earned a Master's of Science, the ins and out of the university procedures, and you know what an MBA is, and you would never claim, even in writing, in front of a hearing, that you have an MBA in clinical psychology. An MBA is a you know Master's of Business Administration. He just doesn't know the difference, and he doesn't know the difference because he has no idea what he did at that university. Somebody else wrote these papers for him. He couldn't defend them, and now he doesn't even know what degrees they supposedly awarded him.
So we have Dr. Umar spread hate for white people. I'm not sure how to parse that. Um, hate for white people. Oh, his hatred for white people.
Hmm.
Yeah, he clearly hates white people. I mean, he's pretty unabashed about it. Although, what did he say about the black contractors he hired for his school? Do you remember?
I remember he complained that one of his excuses for not finishing the school was he was trying to get black contractors to renovate his school, and for 3 years he couldn't do it because they just never came, and they ripped him off, and they took the money and disappeared, and he tried to get black people to do it, but he couldn't, so he got some white people to do it, and they did it in 3 months.
Yeah, and he was really bragging about how, the fact that
So so I think he has more hatred for black people than he has for white people. And
it's
frankly, I think that's what it
strange.
is. He does really in a lot of his videos, he hates on black people who date uh white women.
Oh yeah.
If you're interracially dating and you're a black person, Umar Johnson hates your guts.
Mhm.
It's a big no-no. He hates black people more than more than white people. I think what he just wants to be separate from white people. He would get along very well with with some of these people that are calling for a white state and for re-enslavement or who knows what. I mean,
Mhm.
he's really he's really on board with some of these people, in terms of separate black and white people in America, give them their own state, and you know we do our own thing, they do their thing. um so he would agree with a lot of these traditional white supremacists.
It's almost I get the feeling that he wants to build America into Africa.
We know how that worked out in Liberia.
Well, that's true. It was kind of like the opposite, right? I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, they tried to build
Uh,
Africa. They tried to build the United States into Africa.
yeah.
And yeah, I mean, oh, if and by the way, a little off the topic here, but the
Yeah.
Vice documentary on Liberia is the most shocking thing I think I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Um, it's
Yeah.
about the
If
about the cannibalistic warlords in Liberia. Oh my God, you've got to watch that. It's
if
crazy.
somebody's listening here that hasn't doesn't know about Liberia and what happened with the Americans there, it's worth looking into. But it's a heavy topic. If you
Yeah, it
don't
is.
like
It's
that,
very much
don't do
so.
that because it's a heavy topic. Yeah.
Oh, the Carmelo Anthony case. Yeah, he's all over that. I have videos on that, by the way, his take on Carmelo Anthony. And it's the same thing. It's going to be uh, Whitey's to blame. And, well, see, I'm trying to remember exactly how his take on Carmelo was. Um,
I'll tell you what his take was. It is a controversial take, and for the sole reason that he makes it, he gets publicity so he can raise more money for his fake school.
yeah, he basically rode the line that the white kid deserved it, essentially. That's his take, really. The white kid deserved it. His take on the NFL is slaveholders, they're plantation owners. The NFL players are slaves. You know, it's it's just ludicrous. I don't know how else to put it.